Hello and welcome to Notebook. When I was a kid, the summer vacations were the favorite part of the year for me. All my memories of the summer vacations are at my grandparents' house. All the cousins used to get together during this time. We used to spend hours sitting by the pond and watching the birds fly in for fishes. We used to go for swims in the pond and enjoy the cool water. But one summer vacation, we visited our grandparents' place as usual, but things were not the same anymore. This year the heat was extreme, but we didn't have our pond to go for the swim since there was not enough water in it. So what do you think happened? In this video, we will be talking about all these water bodies and different phenomena that occurs. But let us address what happened to that pond. Water evaporates in heat and turns into vapor, which in turn condenses in the cold and returns to the surface of the earth as rain. Since that summer, the heat was more than all the other. Thus, the water evaporated faster. As a result, there was less water in the pond, and we could not go for the swim. Thus, if you think now, the same water has been circulating which existed centuries ago, as we have been learning for all these years that the major part of the earth is water. But all of this is not consumable, as the major part of the earth's water, which is present in oceans and seas, are salty. Fresh water is only available in lakes, ponds, springs, and glaciers. Did you know 97% of the water present on the earth is actually saline water and cannot be used for drinking? Although it can't be used for drinking, but going on holidays along the seashores are always a treat. I am sure you have noticed that the seawater never remains stagnant. Rather, it is always moving. These movements have been categorized as tides, currents, and waves. Watching the waves rise and fall while sitting at the seashore is one of the favorite parts of my vacation. I'm sure a lot of you also love it. But when the ocean water starts rising and forming huge waves, it can cause destruction. One such phenomenon is known as the tsunami. Tsunami waves can rise up to 15 meters. The largest tsunami wave recorded till now is 150 meters high. The devastating tsunami on December 26, 2004 caused widespread damage to the islands of Andaman and Nicobar. The Indira point of this island got submerged after this incident. Another category of movement is known as tides. Tides are the rhythmic rise and fall of ocean water twice a day. The rise in the water is known as the high tide, and the fall in the water is known as the low tide. High tide occurs when the water of the earth closer to the moon gets pulled under the influence of the gravitational force of the moon. During the full moon and the new moon days, the earth, sun, and the moon are on a straight line, and during this time, the highest tides are formed. The highest tides which are formed are called the spring tides. But when the moon is in its third and first quarter, the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon together pull the earth's water in the diagonally opposite direction. As a result, the low tides occur. These are also known as the neap tides. The high tides have a number of uses. For example, it helps the ships to navigate. It also helps the fishermen to catch large amount of fishes and helps to generate electricity. The third category of movement is ocean currents. The streams of water constantly flowing on the ocean surface in one definite direction is called the ocean currents. There are two kinds of ocean currents, the warm and the cold. The warm ocean currents, also known as the Gulf Stream, originate from the equator and move towards the pole, whereas the cold ocean currents, also known as the Labrador currents, which carry water from polar or higher latitudes to tropical or lower latitude. the places where the cold and the hot current meet are very attractive for fishermen as these form the best fishing grounds. Some examples are seas around Japan and the eastern coast of North America. Although these areas are not good for navigation because of the foggy weather experienced around here. Now that you have learned so much about the water, you understand the importance of it and how we should be careful with its usage and save water. With this, we come to the end of the chapter Water. For more such concise videos on other chapters, keep watching Notebook.